going to talk a little bit about working two jobs at a time. Normally, one of my jobs, at least one, would be kind of crappy. And I often substitute taught and then worked a crappy job. And there were many instances in which the crappy job had high schoolers working at it. And then I would teach their classes and they'd be like, "Hey, Celeste." And I'm like, "I'm Miss Kirby here." And they're like, "No, you're not." It's hard enough getting respect as a sub anyway, but I'm like, "No, I'm Miss Kirby here. You can call me Celeste at, the other job." Or there would be kids from my daycare that were growing up, or not even, just like at the daycare, you could call me Celeste. But during school, I'm Miss Kirby. Yeah, I didn't quite seem to get it. Then there was the time I was working at the treatment center for sex offenders, and one of my clients, I had several clients at the high school, and the rule was you don't say hi to them, okay? And a couple of my clients would walk right past me, not even acknowledge me. That's cool. And one would call me Celeste, and I'm like, "No, I'm Miss Kirby here." And she'd be like, "I invited my friend Celeste to a movie, but she didn't want to go." And I'm like, "I don't really hang out with high schoolers. Like, unless they're related to me or I'm getting paid, I really don't. So, no." And she kept coming up to me all the time during school and calling me by my first name and acting like we were friends and best friends and buddies. Until finally I was like, everybody knows where I work. And so when you talk to me, they assume that that's where I know you from. So don't talk to me in public because everybody knows where I work. And she freaked out and didn't talk to me again. The truth is, I don't hang out with high schoolers. Her high school friends had no idea where I worked. And the other teachers, I hang out with adults, but I didn't actually know any of them. So, no, not everybody knew where I worked because nobody knows me. I stick to myself. I go to work, I go to school, I come home. Now I have neither work nor school. I slipped into French for a second there. That was fun. And I'm doing these interviews to teach kids in China English, and they're exhausting me, so I'm really kind of hoping I can get Medicaid to pay my medical bills without a spend down, because I'm not sure I can even work an hour or two a day anymore like I thought I could. So, yeah, not everybody knew me, but I said they did. And then I would tell my friends and roommates, like, "Oh, you don't want to date him," and just pretend like I knew him from the sex offender place. But in reality, he was just a douche. And if they were going to listen to me, they would have anyway, and sometimes they just wanted to live on the edge and whatever. One time, a friend of mine was like, "That's a really interesting job, tell me about it." And I was like, I can't tell you much about it, but I can tell you I don't have your brother." And he's like, "Yeah, no kidding." And then the next day in the archived files, I found his brother. Oops. But I could never tell him that, of course.